Howdy ho, tea people. This is Denny.
And this is James from TeaDB.org, bringing you episode number 298.
Yeah.
So today we have some tofu dancong. Man, I always mess this name up. I'm like dancong, dancong. I'm so sorry. I intended to get it right this time, but I don't know if I did. So we do not bring this tea on. This might be some of the least covered tea on the show, right up there with green tea.
That's so true.
Which
it's like what everyone thinks of when they think of tea.
Yeah, I actually have very little desire to drink. But
I know some people who really like their Japanese greens. You've definitely dabbled.
Yeah, and I'm not one of those people.
Yeah,
I've realized about myself. So. This is a oolong, and we do like oolongs on the show.
Incredible aroma.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So this one is from WuyiOrigin. She has from Cindy. She has a bunch of really good Wuyi teas, but they also have some good dancong teas. So take a smelter delta of that bad boy.
Yeah. My God, and it has much more fruity and tropical smell, giving it a little bit of moisture as compared to the dry leaf. The dry leaf has a little bit more of a cozy and kind of, now I'm just smelling the intensity of that. One of the coolest things about these sorts of teas, from my experience, has been that their aromas are absolutely wild, and there's a huge disparity in how they taste in the cup. And I'm excited to experience that. And small leaves.
Yeah.
A little bit of some bubblage going on the sides here, a little bit of some stuff, so...
And I don't know a ton about dancong, but I do know that this particular varietal or species, the tofu, is a pretty well-known and well-regarded one. So I think it is on the premium end.
Cool. Well, for me, the battle has always been with these teas is figuring out the beauty of the aroma and then not killing yourself in the cup. Look at that color too, really nice. So we'll see. I'm intrigued, to say the least.
Yeah,
and it's always fun to bring teas on that we don't drink as much.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So
using 4 grams here. So
where did this come from?
WuyiOrigin.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
So they have a lot of good teas. Excited to try this.
We brought in quite a few of their Wuyis.
Yeah, we bring on the good stuff.
Indeed.
And especially if it's good, we'll bring it on again. Yeah.
Indeed. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh. So nice. That is tasty.
It's stronger than I thought.
It's
actually.
strong.
Yeah.
It tastes like an oolong. It tastes a little bit more green to me than it looks, frankly. It looks pretty yellow in the cup. There it goes. So it's getting that greener. These slightly oxidized teas.
Yeah.
Once they get a little bit, it's almost like Baojian. They get a little bit of.
Actually, that's a good comparison. This one kind of has
like
that buttery, floral aspects to it.
Absolutely. Some of those high notes, some crispness, but then also a kind of cozy.
Yeah.
Tasty. I'm already excited. All right. And off of the first steeping, this is, I agree with James, quite potent. So.
And what about? Does it taste at all like its aroma?
It has a little bit more of a grassiness and greenness. I'm not tasting nearly as much of the tropical fruit that I smelled. Although actually, now that I'm talking, there's hints of it coming in. A lot of depth. It's got those higher notes, so I feel like it's kind of higher up in my palate. Crisp, but it also has a little bit, like I said, of that not quite bitter, not quite oceanic, but sort of that kind of grassiness. Crisp, yeah.
So maybe grass getting closer to the water, but not in the water.
A Thursday with grass walking along the oceanic coast.
No, it's definitely a Tuesday, bro.
Oh man, I listened to a beer expert on Epicurious do beer comparisons. And the dude was so good, and he was spot on every time, and he was just like. Zap. It was so fun to watch. I felt equally nerdy when watching it. I was like, I would be into that if I did that with him. Really tasty. It has that grassiness that is sweet It has crisp notes. The core doesn't look like it's changing too much quite yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And I think I'm going to kind of try to keep it around this color. I don't want to overbrew it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's strong enough right now. Are you getting any of those tropical fruit flavors at all?
I definitely can, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got that, but it also has a good base to it. It doesn't feel like it's all fluffy in the clouds. It's got some florals, but it's also got like some nice earthier tones to it. Yeah, no, I think it's very enjoyable.
Yeah, and it does taste, one of the things that when we're talking about higher quality teas is just balance. And there's certainly a lot of balance in this tea, although we're still early, so. Really wonderful, potent residual flavors.
Sort of getting like some light fruit on this one.
Definitely. Yeah, fruit forward now. Tropical. Kind of tastes like dry Hawaii or something.
Dry Hawaii?
Yeah.
As opposed to wet Hawaii?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It doesn't have that sort of like kind of decaying peatiness that sometimes can happen in like really humid environments that are tropical. Has sort of a
okay. So not rotten jungle fruit.
It's not quite as earthy either, or like even mushroomy.
I like that Dancong comparison. It's definitely not exactly the same, but like
it has elements.
In terms of like the greenness and the level of oxidation, it does seem to me to be pretty similar to some.
Now, if you were to just drink this blind oolong, you think you would know? I think you would.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I wouldn't think it's a white tea. I wouldn't think it's black tea.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I wonder if I could confuse it with a green tea, just because I don't know the categories that well. But I think I'd probably guess wrong. I don't know if I'd guess exactly what this is, but I'd probably place it as an oolong.
Unlike a green tea, though, this has a tropical kind of crispness in it that I think kind of can be characteristic of some of those oolongs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really tasty.
Yeah.
Cheers. Steeping number 3. It's perfumey. It's floral. It's getting a little bit stronger now.
Bit more nutty.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Definitely. Absolutely. That was a good call.
Keep these steeps short.
And I think you're brewing it perfectly too. Because look at that color. It's getting potent.
Yeah.
It's getting dark. Really, really tasty.
I'm no expert on brewing these teas, but one of my biggest concern coming into brewing something like this is overbrewing it.
Right.
So trying to keep it on the lighter side. I used 4 grams of leaves for about a 70 milliliter gaiwan. So.
And this isn't like a ripe or some of your roasted oolongs that can kind of just you can let them hang out forever. Yeah. This does need to give a little bit more attention, even though it's a high quality tea.
Right. So how would this do on the ultralight test? The Denny Ultralight Challenge.
A+.
Oh yeah? Really?
I think so. I think you have to go light on the amount of leaf that you use to start. Because again, it's the kind of grandpa style brewing. Although updates will be made. I'm not going to spoil anything yet, but I'll tell you after the episode.
Okay. I don't even know what it's time about, guys.
Anyway, don't worry about it. Stay tuned. But yeah, really, really tasty, light, crisp. I think this would also probably pass the mom test, your just general person drinking this test. It's now has a little bit more bite to it, just a little bit more, not quite astringency, or bitterness, but just a little hinting at it.
Right.
Balancing out the high notes a little bit.
Right. I would say this would pass the mom test, but it'd be a challenge because you got to. It's dependent on the brewing.
Yeah.
So don't mess it up, you jerk.
And it's intense too.
Yeah, it is
it's
intense.
Just an intense, strong flavored tea. So, frankly, if we're drinking this at the end of our session, and it's a perfect fit for the end of the session because it's still holding its own quite well. You know, a lot of flavor.
Yeah, I think one difference between this and green teas is this is more intense.
Yeah,
you get a fuller body. It's really green tasting. You can really taste those sort of verdant flavors, but it's strong and intense too. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I love how floral it is. I think the fruitiness is dissipated a little bit. I'm getting into a little bit more of the nuttiness, little bit more of the boldness of this tea, maybe a little bit of the bitterness in a good way. It's great. I like that it's dynamic too. And I don't have enough experience with this category to say this is a high quality Dancong, but I still think that even so, it probably is. It tastes great.
I think it is too. But yeah, I mean, it's not a common tea for me to have either. And part of the reason is I just don't like that many of them too. So this one,
it's balanced. They can be abrasive.
Yeah.
And they can be just kind of too strong, which is funny because you tend to only think of rapuers like that. But
right. Yeah. I'm gonna do one last steep here before we call it.
Cool. Yum. Okay, steeping numbers
5.
5,
I think. Yeah.
And this tastes like it'll die off. It's not gonna.
I think it's
go
in
for
the
13
process of it. I think you
But
get.
it'll go to 9.
Yeah. I was gonna say 8 or 9. Yeah.
A little bit of the tea burps.
Yeah. Tea burps perfectly normal, guys.
Yeah.
Don't see your doctor. That'd be a silly reason to see your doctor. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's nice. Grassier. Still has some sweetness to it, though. It is losing a little bit of the oomph, a little bit of the mouthfeel, too. Lighter than the previous couple episodes, I'd say, in terms of mouthfeel. Not quite as viscous. Not that that's a bad thing at all, just an observation.
Yeah, it doesn't have those silk textures to it, but very verdant.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, even from the first steeping, this tastes greener than it looks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really wonderful. I think that if this didn't have that deeper, slight bitterness, it would 100% pass the mom test every time. But part of the joy that I'm getting from it is that variety of experience of the taste, and flavors. So
yeah, it's this could pass the mom test, but it'll depend on you, dear viewer.
Check out WuyiOrigins. They continue to just.
They have very good
oolongs.
oolongs.
Their stuff on because it's good.
Yeah. So I recommend them. We'll probably keep bringing them on. So for all of the WuyiOrigin haters, which I don't know if there's a single person, but if I'm talking to you now, subscribe.
Yeah. It's the new mantra. If you folks want to learn more about T, James, where should they go?
Yeah, they should check us out on TeaDB.org. We have a lot of content, almost 300 episodes, plus in-between episodes.
Written content.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Vendor tea comparisons. There's so much stuff. All courtesy of James. He's the
both of us. 300 episodes together, just about. So
I know, crazy. So. Check us out there. Follow us on the Instagrams, TeaDB.org. Subscribe, send this to your mom, share it, or not, do whatever you want. We love you guys anyway.
Yeah, and we'll see you all next time.